Everyone is requested to be seated. The chief guest is about to arrive.
I don't know.
Good afternoon, Assalamualaikum delegates. Welcome to the opening ceremony of the second edition of the Aitchison College Languages, Literary and Cultural Festival. It gives me great pleasure to announce that with over 600 delegates from all over the country, ACLF has made its mark as the largest college-level literary festival in Pakistan. We will commence the ceremony with the recitation of the Holy Quran by SHAMIM.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakallah Hashim. May I request you all to kindly rise for the national anthem. I now invite the principal of Aitchison College, Dr. to take the floor, introduce our chief guest, and officially declare the house for ACLF open.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good afternoon, young students. I am absolutely delighted to see you all. Welcome to Aitchison College for the Aitchison College Language and Literature Festival 2025. And I have been told told that there is representation from literally all corners of the country, and mashallah, we have over 600 delegates. And I'm sure today and tomorrow would be fun-filled and educational for all of you. So enjoy yourselves at Aitchison and welcome again. We are honored to have with us today our chief guest, Mr. Zafar Masood, one of Pakistan's most senior bankers, corporate leaders and public servants. He is the President and CEO of the Bank of Punjab, Chairman of the Pakistan Bankers Association, and also the Chairman of the Oil and Gas Development Company, Pakistan's leading energy enterprise. Internationally, he has served as Managing Director of Barclays Bank in South Africa, and he is the founder of Porsche Capital Investment Bank, a firm focused on sustainable financial solutions. However, Mr. Masood is also known for his extraordinary survival as one of the only two survivors of the ill-fated 2020 PIA PA8303 plane crash. His journey from seat 1C became the title of his acclaimed book and a symbol of resilience and hope for many. An economist by education, he combines professional excellence with social commitment, contributing actively to charity and philanthropy in education, healthcare, and social welfare. As a celebrated author, his books Seat 1C and Structural Reforms for Pakistan present deep personal reflection, visionary insights on governance, reform, and inclusive development. Thank you very much, sir, and we look forward to your address.
I hope I'm audible. All of you can hear me. Right? Good. It's really a pleasure and honor to be here today. Not just I'm here at the premier educational institution of this country. Perhaps the most prestigious, but more so the event that I have been invited for. And I would like to start out by thanking the organizing committee, Principal Sir, for giving me the opportunity to come and talk to you about my life experiences and particularly my book, Seat 1C. This sort of activity and program is something that I would like other institutions to replicate across the country. And I'll talk about it a bit later why it is very important to encourage such activities. I am also most thankful to the committee, but particularly to my nephew Adi Murshid Kazmi, who has invited me and handled all the logistics for me to be here. Being a Lahore, grew up in Lahore, always looked up to Aitchison, when I got the invite, I got really very excited about coming and sharing by being good things from the from the indicated, flight strategy. I would also like to take the opportunity to do some acknowledgement, starting from Amna Hassan, the editor and the researcher of my book, publisher, the international publisher, Divakar Ghosh and Girishta Gupta, and the international publisher's editor, Shadarupa R. This is my 31st book read, by the way, since its launch in effectively April. From Pakistan, various cities in Pakistan, to Dubai, to Macau, to Hong Kong, to London, and now I'm booked until December. And because I have day job to do as well, so I keep these book reads over the weekend only, and try to find them now to only 4 hours. But this is an exception to that rule that I set up for myself. The book is also being, by the way, translated now into Urdu, none other than by the legendary Dr. Aitchison. In Spanish, by the way. And also I've been offered to get it translated into Chinese. But I have, gone a little further, and I'm getting this sketch note done for this book. So this book, which is right now still a very readable size of around 200 pages, would now be condensed to 30 pages. This will be a depiction of my learning through graphics and very brief sort of notation. As I said, this one is a very special one for me for multiple reasons. Being Aitchison College, the event itself, but more so, the purpose of me writing this book was actually to talk to the most brightest and the curious mind which is sitting in this hall today. Really, that is the objective, and I am most thankful to the principal for giving me this opportunity to talk to you all. And I try to keep my monologue as brief as possible so that we will have more interactive session, and whatever questions you possibly have about me, I shall be able to respond to them in a justified manner. As I said, I grew up in Lahore, squarely in a middle class family, but with a very strong value system. I have never been a great student, by the way, so जो स्टूडेंट्स यहाँ पर जो है वो स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं, मेरी तरह एजुकेशन में ज़्यादा परेशान ना हो, कुछ ना कुछ हो ही जाएगा, निकल ही जाएगा. But you know what was important was the encouragement by the family about critical thinking. And critical thinking is the real game changer in life. So challenge everything, question everything, try and find the answers to everything, whatever is out there and you need an answer for. Do your own research, talk to the people that you think would have the responses for those questions. I come from a family of poets, authors, philosophers, actors, and I guess the appreciation for literature and culture has always been there in me, and I genuinely believe that this is something that is missing in our culture and society, and we need to encourage it more. We need to inculcate that more, nurture that more, and I'm very glad to see that Aitchison College is actually following its tradition and pursuing this as a mission. What encouraged me to write this book in this day and age, where आप लोगों का पेशेंस लेवल बहुत कम है, अभी लोग आपस में बातें करनी शुरू करती हैं, हालांकि अभी तो टॉक बहुत बाकी है, मगर this is the way our younger generation is. Very impatient, बहुत ही retention period बहुत थोड़ा सा होता है, attention span बहुत कम होता है, तो उसमें why this book? And I thought that it's very important that the reading we have what is evaporating from our society is needed to be encouraged. I on scene, तो ऐसा लगता है लोगों को जैसे मैंने क्रैश को बड़ी लंबी चौड़ी बात की होगी. The reality is that there is very limited discussion about the crash, merely where it was necessary. The rest is about the learnings from the crash, post-crash. And this is what I would like to share with you all and talk about more in detail today. As I said, why a book and why this book? First of all, I believe that book is my permanent contribution in this translated world. Books tend to have a longer shelf life, both metaphorically as well as virtually. And what is left behind is at the end of the day is your creativity and your contribution as part of the creativity. And please do think about it. The people that you remember are remembered because of their creativity and doing things differently. And book, actually gives you an opportunity to explain things better as well. In a structured fashion, it doesn't have the constraint of time, it doesn't have the constraint of space as such. And then, it attracts the attention invariably if it is lying on the shelf. Then you tend to get attracted to the book and at least pick it up and check it out what it's talking about. I personally have the DNA for writing the book, as I said, because of the family. In my family generation, there are 50 books and it's counting. Recently my cousin has come out with another book. And this book, as I said, is being translated in. And I am also working on 2 more books. One is about financial inclusion, peace and prosperity. The other book, Principles of actually resonates very well with this event today, is about literature and economy. How is literature important in the economy? And above all, it's the habit of reading the book that I wanted to encourage the younger generation about, and hence this project. Ladies and gentlemen, I personally believe that these learnings of mine are of course unique in nature. How many people you know who have seen the death so closely and have the opportunity of coming back and sharing those thoughts with the world, with the humanity? Perhaps very few. And even if people have seen the death so closely and come back, they perhaps do not have the DNA of writing the book or talking about things as well. So therefore, I think it's incumbent upon me that I share those unique learnings with everyone across the board. And it is very important that nobody ever confront this kind of situation that I am confronted with. Therefore, whatever I have learned from that experience, I must share it all. And those 30 seconds, as I call it, a 30-second story before the death, is something which we all have to go through. Please keep this in mind. Those 30 seconds you will all face in life. You will never escape it. But maybe you will not have the opportunity to come back and tell the tale or rectify yourself or improve yourself. Therefore, I take this as an opportunity of sharing with you all what happened in those 30 seconds. These are basically, there are a total of 10 learnings, but these are basically some of the reinforcements of my earlier learnings in life, some of the new learnings from those 30 seconds, as I call them. The gist essentially of these 10 learnings are into no regret syndrome and survivor's guilt, which is actually a diversion or channelizing your vulnerabilities towards your strength. And I will, at the end of the talk, after your question and answer, will read something from the book on these 2 learnings. something which is very important in our life, and it is not a discrete discipline as such from the others. It actually cuts across all the disciplines. So whether you are become an engineer or an accountant or a finance guy or a banker or a scientist or a data scientist, literature remains a constant factor and an important factor, and I tell you why. Because literature and languages helps you appreciating your culture and your reality. Your reality is your culture actually. As Dr. Kamal once said. And the complexities of, for example, poetry and literature and the uncertainties of the history are all mind-boggling. And these are the things which encourage you to look at critical thinking and pursue critical thinking. Critical thinking and creativity makes you different from the other. And through reading history, literature and languages, you can become these habits and these attributes to nurture and flourish. Let me share with you some structured thoughts from the books on this topic from my chapter on communication. This is a chapter on communication. I had always believed that it was a shame that this link was not more widely recognized and celebrated, and the fields of economics and literature were so desperate in academic circles. If large-scale data and numbers provide evidence for economic theory, then a study of economic history through the literary lens can humanize the theory. It can show us how complex forces shape the life of ordinary people. It is therefore imperative that anyone interested in the betterment of society and its socio-political landscape should engage with literature and art. We need to erase this unnecessary arbitrary line we have drawn in the sand and make our curricula more holistic and inclusive of literary traditions, even for students strictly interested in non-literary fields. Well-rounded professionals with a background in disciplines of humanities, particularly literature and art, grant new perspectives to businesses and their modus operandi think more creatively with finding scientific solutions to existing problems and are inspired to innovate more. They engage with difficult conversations about societal inequities and are often at the forefront of revolutionary thought. This is evident not just from the long-standing traditions within literature, but also from the diaries and recorded thoughts of various revolutionary leaders from across the world. It is necessary, gentlemen, I would need your attention on this particular aspect. Some of you would say that you are not interested in literature at all. Some of you would say, what is the value or what is the economic value of reading literature? Trust me, this is all in your head. People with varied backgrounds see things differently in the commercial world as well. And creativity is everything that sets you apart from others, help you remain ahead of the curve and your competition. Therefore, open your minds. Need your attention on this one. बच्चों, आपके ऐसे थोड़ी देर बाद बात कर लीजिएगा, ये जरूर सुन लीजिए। Open your mind, open your horizon, open your faculties toward creativity and critical thinking, and this will all come through literature, art and culture, reading history, and this is all in your head. As my favorite band U2 says, I have two favorite bands, one is U2, the other one is the both happen to be Irish band. ये गाना जरूर सुन लीजिएगा जाके, मुझे पता आपकी जनरेशन शायद उस YouTube को अच्छी तरह नहीं जानती, जिस तरह मैं और बिल्कुल साथ जानते हैं. But do listen to this song, and I just share some excerpts from that song. Get out of your own way. I could sing it to you all night. If I could, I'll make it all right. मैं आपसे पूरी रात बात कर सकता हूँ, मैं पूरी रात आपके बिहार पे काम कर सकता हूँ. Nothing is stopping you except what's inside. I can help you, but it's your fight. Fight back. Don't take it lying down. You get to fight back. The face of liberty is starting to crack like freedom. The slaves are looking for someone to lead them. The masters looking for someone to lead him. आप लोग वो masters होंगे. You have to lead this world. You have to lead this country. The promised land is there for those who need it most. The Lakers both said, get out your own way. Ladies and gentlemen, other than the critical thinking, the other most important thing that cuts across all the disciplines now, other than the creativity and critical thinking, languages, culture, history, art, is actually technology. Never lose the sight of the ball as far as technology is concerned. You will again, as I said, find it cutting across all the disciplines. Prepare yourself and gear up for it. I would strongly recommend you to read two books, please. इसको नोट कर लीजिए, अगर आपको नोट करना है तो. एक किताब है जो लिखी है डेविडसन ने एंड रेस्मार्क ने, 1996 में उन्होंने लिखी थी. This book is called Sovereign Individual. The other book is called Homo Deus. ये जोएल हरीरी की किताब है. इसमें जो लर्निंग्स है, की लर्निंग हुई है, individuals at the back of technology will become more powerful perhaps than the sovereign, and they will have God-like power. अब इन हाइंडसाइट अगर आप देखते हैं कि किताबें तो पहले लिखी गई थी, आज आप देखें कि किस तरह ये टिंकरिंग शुरू हुई है with the genetics. So actually we have now started getting into the arena and the domain of the God. किस तरह साइबर सिक्योरिटी जो है वो एक चीज को होल्ड पे ले आती है, चाहे वो आपकी मिलिट्री माइट ही क्यों ना हो. Therefore it is your control on the technology that makes you more powerful than the sovereign. जो sovereign दूसरी power draw करते हैं, they draw that power from printing of currency, the economic power. अब तो वो भी खत्म हो गया है. आप लोग इंशाअल्लाह ताला, मैं I will see this in this group, कि कोई ना कोई अपनी क्रिप्टो करेंसी के साथ इंशाअल्लाह आएगा, तो आप sovereign को चैलेंज कर रहे होंगे, and your cryptocurrency may be more acceptable than the market is for that matter. And this is what the power of technology is. And you know, the important thing is that we have to make sure that when we gain that power, and you will all gain this power, I'm telling you now, this generation, you are the future, you will have that power. Please The life is all about impact on people. The life is all about what you are leaving behind and how people will remember you. And I'm sharing this to you based on my experience of those 30 seconds when no money, no position was important, and it was goodness of people because of which I'm sitting in front of you. And it was my interaction subsequently with my loved one and my people that brought me that strength to write this book and come and talk to you about this. So this is your legacy. Use your power, use your authority, use your money for that legacy, ladies and gentlemen, and that is what matters in life. Thank you very much. I will talk to you. I will do the read from the book of the gist of the learning right at the end, but before that, I would like to have a question and answer session with you.
If there are any questions for Mr. Zafar Masood, please raise your hands, we'll come to you. Any questions for Mr. Zafar Masood?
Move on to the second.
Could you summarize how Pakistan could use literature to improve its economy?
आपका नाम क्या आपका नाम स्कूल बता दें?
Yasmin Umar from Wells International School.
Yes. How do you use literature to improve Pakistan's economy? Okay. I was expecting this question, so कोई ऐसी परेशानी नहीं है, क्योंकि एक हमारे यहाँ थॉट प्रोसेस ये है कि ये तो लिटरेचर वगैरह जो है कि वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम में बांटा में जब मैं आपकी इससे तो शायद नहीं सोच सकता, तो कोई ऐसी बात नहीं, कोई परेशानी की बात नहीं, और इसकी कार्यक्रम को जरूरत नहीं है प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ के अंदर। अगर हम MBA कर लेंगे, चार्ट अकाउंटेंसी कर लेंगे, इंजीनियर बन जाएंगे, डॉक्टर बन जाएंगे और हम डेटा साइंटिस्ट बन जाएंगे, तो बस वी सपोर्टेड इन लाइफ। The important thing about literature is that it opens up your mind. It leads you towards thinking about those faculties in your mind which perhaps were suppressed or were never opened up to those realities. Now, that helps you in becoming more creative, and that creativity is something which makes you different from another data scientist, for example, who has equal exposure of data sciences but does not have that ability of creativity, that critical thinking, that connection with the history, that connection with the culture. And trust me, what makes the difference in your endeavors in your professional life is the connection with your culture and understanding your people of what they want and what they are looking for. And that is what makes the difference when you read literature, when you pursue art, when you are talking about history. This is the difference it makes. Languages make world of difference. अब मैं आपको दूसरा भी इसका एंगल दिखा देता हूँ। दूसरा एंगल उसका ये है कि if you have command on the language, by default you will have to learn the history about that language too. And literature also demands that you must understand history as well. So एक खाली लैंग्वेज सीखने से आप उस मुल्क के कल्चर को, चाहे वो पाकिस्तानी कल्चर ना हो, चाइनीज हो, आप या साउदी हो, आप उसको समझेंगे तो उनके कल्चर को समझेंगे और उनकी हिस्ट्री को समझेंगे। तो जब आप कम्युनिकेट करेंगे एज अ पाकिस्तानी इन देयर लैंग्वेज, इन देयर कल्चर, इन देयर हिस्ट्री, तो मैं आपको इस बात की यकीन दिलाता हूँ कि देयर इन अबाउट द चीज सब्सटेंशियल और जो बिजनेस आपके रास्ते में आना है ना, वो एक्चुअली मॉनेटरी टर्म्स में भी आपको बेनिफिट करेगा। एंड दिस इज व्हाट द बेनिफिट ऑफ लिटरेचर एंड लैंग्वेज इन आवर इकोनॉमी।
Thank you, sir, for that answer. Do we have any other question? Yes.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. My name is Shahidar Qureshi. I am studying in A1. Sir, my question to you is, going through such a traumatic experience as a plane crash, how does that change your outcome on life? And how do you think it affected your relationship with God and your religion?
अच्छा ये बड़ा ट्रिकी सवाल जब आपने पूछा मैं इसको अवेट कर रहा था मगर आप मुझे आगे लेके आ गए एनीवेज पहली बात तो ये कि आपने जो पहला हिसाब से सवाल कराया दैट इज रिलेटेड टू द चेंज इन लाइफ और पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ माय पर्सपेक्टिव टुवर्ड्स लाइफ इसका मैंने अभी टॉक नहीं कहा इज एक्चुअली it's all about people. No money, no position matters when you are leaving this world. What you are leaving behind is the impact on people. How well you resonated with those people, and what impact you have created with those people, negative or positive. Obviously, I am not positive about that. And that is what your legacy will be. So anything, in life, the only thing that matters is your relationship with other people and your impact on other people's life. Nothing more, nothing less. I am telling you from my own experience. अब क्योंकि आपने बात शेयर की तो मैं आपको एक और बात बता देता हूँ. I call it a 30-second story. मैंने आपको टाइम की कंस्ट्रेंट की वजह से उसको नहीं जज किया. एक्चुअली सिचुएशन ये है कि हम सब we all talk about और इससे आपको मेरे रिलीजियस बिलीफ को भी शायद थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. बशर नोज देम क्वाइट वेल, हाली नोज देम क्वाइट वेल. बात ये है कि वो हम सब बड़ा वरी करते हैं वो लाइफ आफ्टर डेथ. हमारा उसका फेथ है, कुछ मिथ है, हर रिलीजन में है भाई. हम आपको डिफरेंट नहीं है. मैं उस दिन को कन्फ्यूशनिज्म को देख रहा था. It is so close to Islamic learning, it is unbelievable. और हमारा ख्याल ये है कि उसका कोई ताल्लुक नहीं. So हर एक जगह पे वो लाइफ आफ्टर डेथ का कॉन्सेप्ट तो है, and we all worry about life after death, and we should, but we do not worry about life before death. Those 30 seconds that I was experiencing, that I knew that I was going, what did I experience those 30 seconds? अब ये मेटाफोरिकल 30 सेकंड है. कुछ लोगों की जिंदगी 5 महीने भी हो सकते हैं, कुछ की 1 मिनट हो सकता है, कुछ की 10 दिन हो सकते हैं. इस पे आप 30 सेकंड में ना फंसे. जब आपको ये पता है कि आपकी जिंदगी खत्म हो रही है तो आपकी जिंदगी और मौत के दरमियान जो टाइम है उसमें आप क्या एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं. वरी अबाउट दैट. एंड आई कैन टेल यू फ्रॉम माय एक्सपीरियंस that I was only worried about one thing. I was not worried about what rituals I did follow. I was not worried about, which namaz I missed or roza I missed. I was more worried about how my interaction with people been. Is there anything, did I hurt anybody? Am I concerned about not doing something right? But I want to hold this thought back and share it with you right at the end of the question and answer, reading from the book. What those 30 seconds are. Worry about those 30 seconds. When you will be standing in your own court, in your own witness box and answerable to yourself of how you led your life. देखिए बात सुनिए. जिसके सामने आप answerable है ना लाइफ आफ्टर डेथ में, वो गफूर रहीम है. वो तो आपकी छोटी मोटी चीजें माफ कर देगा. मगर आप जब अपने कटहरे पर खुद खड़े होंगे ना, जैसे आप खुद हैं, आप अपने आप को उस लेंस से असेस कर रहे होंगे. हमारी जो सिचुएशन ये है तो रजा इस्लाम से कि वी कैन ह्यूमनाइज द गॉड एज वेल. हम अपने लेंस से गॉड को देख रहे होते हैं कि जैसे हम उसको मल्टीप्लाई कर लो टेक टाइम. वी कांट इवन असेस दैट. आप अपने आप को उस वक्त माफ़ कर देंगे इस मामले में। जिस दिन मेरा क्रैश हो रहा था, वो किताब में लिखा हुआ इसके नाम उसके अंदर, वो 27 रमज़ान था और वो जुम्मतुल विदा भी था। मेरा रोज़ा भी नहीं था और मैंने जो नमाज भी पढ़ी थी। तो रिचुअल्स आर नॉट दैट इम्पोर्टेंट इन लाइफ। और मेरा ये पक्का ईमान है कि मुझे अल्लाह ताला ने बचाया है। फिर वो क्या चीज़ है जो अल्लाह ताला ने मुझे बचाई है? तो वो ये रिचुअल्स नहीं है, कुछ और है जो आपने यार साहब मेरा ना बटन आपने छेड़ दिया, बहुत सेंसिटिव वन। तो आई जस्ट वांटेड टू शेयर दिस। हालांकि मुझे पता है ये रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है और लीक हो गया तो मेरे साथ मुसीबत बटन पर लिख दी गई। जी
Thank you, sir. Those are all the questions we'll be taking.
वो कोई एक और नहीं।
Sure, sir. We'll have another.
भाई रनिंग शॉर्ट करता है।
Yes, sir. We have one last question.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Edmund Nadeem and I am from Roots Internationals. I'm currently in my last year of O-levels. So I love your thoughts about literature, languages and culture. And you mentioned two of your favorite books. So I just wanted to know, what is your most favorite book and what kind of impact has it left on you as an individual?
You say favorite book? अच्छा, वो वेरी करती रहती है with the passage of time। उसको कहना बड़ा मुश्किल काम है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल रिसेंटली मेरी कुछ और फेवरेट किताबें थी। मेरी एक बड़ी फेवरेट किताब है मेरी नाम रॉबर्ट सेकेंडरी। मुझे बहुत शौक है लोगों की जिंदगी के बारे में पढ़ना, बट रियलिस्टिकली पढ़ना। ज़्यादातर जो बायोग्राफी और ऑटोबायोग्राफी लिखी होती है ना, वो सारी एग्जैजरेटेड होती है। तो मैंने एक्स प्रेसिडेंट यूएसए की ऑटोबायोग्राफी उठाई थी, तो मैंने पहले चैप्टर के बाद छोड़ दी क्योंकि वो अपने आप को प्रेजेंट कर रहे थे कि वो बहुत बड़े सेंट थे, जो वो नहीं थे। तो लिहाजा मैंने वो बिल्कुल साइड पर रखी। मगर आप मुझे जो ज़्यादा चीज़ अट्रैक्ट कर रही है ना, वो अट्रैक्ट कर रही है रीडिंग अबाउट टेक्नोलॉजी एंड इट्स एवोल्यूशन ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम। एंड इस तरह मैंने दो किताबें शेयर की। Those happen to be my favorite books at this point in time. Although there are various other authors as well who I admire and look up to. मगर इस वक्त मेरे लिए मैं जो ना उधर हंगा हुआ हूँ on the technology a lot. So therefore focus is on these two books. आप लोग की किताबें जरूर पढ़िएगा। That's it.
Thank you, sir.
मैं जरा खाली अपनी टॉक में खत्म करना चाहूँगा ऑन द टू लर्निंग। और मुझे ये आपसे आखिरी 5 मिनट की अटेंशन चाहिए। ख़वातीन और हज़रात, आप लोग आपस में बात बाद में कर लीजिएगा। ये प्लीज़ सुन लीजिए, जो जिस तो 10 लर्निंग है आपको खुद 10 किताब तो वापस नहीं पड़ेगी, लेकिन कम से कम ये जिस जरूर सुन लीजिए ये आपके काम ही शायद है। सर्वाइविंग द प्लेन क्रैश does that to you. It introduces incongruous thoughts you never imagined would exist in your brain. You feel horrified and devastated by the tragedy surrounding you, yet simultaneously you also feel relieved at your survival. And despite this relief, you question why you survived. And when that survival skill gains so much as a toehold in your mind, you find yourself wrecked by it. You recognize that what happened was senseless, but you still search for meaning in the debris left behind. It becomes a constant, unrelenting struggle, finding and coming to terms with grief and joy, pain and relief, depression and a renewed lift to live all at once. In fact, this gate has been my primary motivation for creating a more equitable world. So perhaps it is time to subvert the if at all, if all of us individually, ladies and gentlemen, ये चीज का suggestion, if all of us individually see the privileges, wealth or position we have as a proof of our survival in an uneven, unjust world, then we should all have some degree of guilt that propels us to make changes. No regret, which was the case when I was ready to go at the time of the crash and was all set to face my God, was another sentiment that has made life difficult for me. Every human is a mere mortal. We have to leave this world sooner or later in one way or the other, but we have to keep in mind that when we are leaving this world, there shall not be any regrets whatsoever for not doing something at all, or perhaps for doing something differently. With that perspective, all your action towards humanity and society change for the better. No regret shall be the hallmark in making decisions in our life to be a better human being, a better person. It is my hope that this book, communicating the urgency with which we need to create an equitable world, and is a damning indictment of the pitfalls of the rigidity, narrow-mindedness, and the failure to understand needs of others. I believe understanding this urgency is the only way for us to leave behind something worthwhile in this world. I will now share a couplet of John Elia, who happened to be my grandfather's younger brother as well. Ladies and gentlemen, suffering is perhaps the biggest bond of mankind, and trauma is a reality. Never ever shy away from this. This will come one way or the other, this way or that way, but then channelize that towards the right way. And very well said by John Saab. And I'll finish this with this couplet of John Saab. ये जिंदगी है साहिब, ये जिंदगी है साहिब, उलझेगी नहीं तो सुलझेगी कैसे? बहुत विषयों कमाएंगे जिंदगी में, बच्चों परेशान नहीं होना, सीखना उससे, सीखना अपने आप को बेहतर करना, ज्यादा पावर के साथ वापस आना। ये जिंदगी है साहिब, उलझेगी नहीं तो सुलझेगी कैसे, बिखरेगी नहीं तो निखरेगी कैसे? थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Sir, for gracing the podium with your words. We are deeply grateful for your presence at Aitchison College, and we sincerely hope that our delegates have gained valuable insight in your words of wisdom. Now, a token of appreciation will be presented to the chief guest by the worthy principal.
With that, we appreciate the ACLF 2025.
All of you are requested to stay seated as the Honorable Chief Guest exits.